This time on Geekiest of Geeks, I'll be talking about The Darkling Child by Terry Brooks and the forthcoming Shannara TV show. Let's go! Welcome, my genius viewers, to this week's episode of Geekiest of the Geeks. I am your host, Doug Croft. Up first is my review of The Darkling Child. The Darkling Child is the latest installment in the Shannara series, which is at least 24 books long, depending on whether or not you want to count some spin-off books, short stories, and other related books. I've read them all. Terry Brooks and I both come from the same small town in Illinois, and as a child I was given his books to read. My introduction to the Sword of Shannara was part of my lifelong love of fantasy novels, and sparked my interest in writing. The Darkling Child is the second book in the Defenders of Shannara trilogy. It continues the story of Paxton Lee and his work as protector to the Druid Order. This book, like its predecessor, is written in a very different tone compared to the other Shannara novels. Rather than being a grand, epic story, this is a much more personal story of Paxton Lee, confronting the sorcerer Arcanan and attempting to help a young man named Rain Frosh, who is kind of the cat's paw to the sorcerer. This story is very much about making difficult life choices and then finding a way to live with the consequences of those choices in the best way that you know how. If you are a fan of the Shannara series, you'll definitely want to read this book. The change in storytelling style is a refreshing change of pace from the earth-shattering events of the earlier Shannara books. And even though the book does not end on a cliffhanger, the story felt a little unfinished to me. And that makes sense because the forthcoming book, The Sorcerer's Daughter, will conclude this trilogy next year. And then after that, the entire Shannara series of books themselves will be concluded with the following trilogy. I give this book 8 out of a possible 10 magic swords. The Shannara series itself is also making the transition to television. The first season of the TV show spanning the novel Elfstones of Shannara has already been filmed in New Zealand and will be coming to MTV in January. Terry Brooks joined the cast at San Diego Comic-Con last Friday to release a trailer for the new show.
It has begun.
Arrow alums Manu Bennett and Austin Butler are joined by John Rhys-Davies from The Lord of the Rings and Indiana Jones. And then we also have Ivana Baquero from Pan's Labyrinth and newcomer Poppy Drayton. I think my favorite part of the casting there is that Gimli the Dwarf is now switched to playing King of the Elves. There were a few odd things in the trailer, like the Transformer's sword, but overall I saw a lot of things that looked right in the trailer. I'm psyched and I cannot wait for the show in January. that's it for this episode of Geekiest of the Geeks. Make sure to hit the subscribe button and the like button. And tune in next time to see me summon the dead to speak at the Hades Horn.